Links in bio. Hit that play. Let the stream roll. This is the Roundtable podcast. Turn it up. Let the time slip past. Voices spin like a midnight cast. We go deep. We don't move fast. This is the Roundtable podcast. Hit repeat. Make the moment last. Every thought like a signal blast. Lock it in. Feel the forecast. Click in, tune out the noise. Hot takes, cold drinks, old joys. Story after story in a chain. Laugh breaks cutting through the brain. This is the Roundtable podcast. Turn it up. Let the time slip past. Voices spin like a midnight cast. We go deep. We don't move fast. This is the Roundtable podcast. Hit repeat. Make the moment last. Every thought like a signal blast. Lock it in. Feel the forecast. Round and round, say feet. New sound, hey. Name in the chat. Yeah, you're part of it now. This is the Roundtable podcast. Turn it up. Let the time slip past. Voices spin like a midnight cast. We go deep. We don't move fast. This is the Roundtable podcast. Hit repeat. Make the moment last. Every thought like a signal blast. Lock it in. Feel the forecast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are back once again with the Respawn Roundtable. I will eventually get it right smoothly, eventually. But today is not that day.
Is it ever?
I mean, it might be one day. But as I am with my cohort, my brother in arms, my Siskel to my Ebert, Mr. Raccoon.
Is I?
So, sir, shall we begin with our
Absolutely.
thoughts? And of course, guys, if you couldn't tell by the background, we are discussing what season is this now? 9.5?
Yep.
I think that's what you said to me.
9.5 dropped yesterday.
Wow. So we are discussing episode season 9.5 of Marvel Rivals, is specifically pertaining to Jubilee and the Hood. And I don't know about Fist in the World, sir. Maybe Iron Fist would do that.
I mean, that's my new alt line, you know?
I mean, I can see that. I can honestly see that.
Let's fist the world.
Again! Sorry. Damn Buckies. But anyway. So, let's break down how we feel about the new roster shakeups between Jubilee and the Hood. All right, we're gonna be talking about the skins, events, map changes, flows of the match, and everything. So let's start, of course, with the season experience. So starting off with this season, from when you first started playing Raccoon, how do you feel about the changes from then to now?
So, how do I feel like at the beginning of season 9, or just like when I started playing this game
When
altogether?
you started playing this game all together, how does it feel from then all the way to now?
Well,
If you
I
could
would
think
say,
back that far.
oh yeah, dude, like I can remember. So start of season 9 actually felt just like playing season 0. It was very really brought on a lot of good memories because when you first played the game, like I don't know if you played in season 0 or not, but
I did not.
everything was chaotic at first because so much new stuff happened, and it was like, okay, so nobody knows nothing. It's just go. And then when season 9 dropped, I mean, they did basically the same thing. They gave everybody team ups. They literally just took the power scale to 10 and said, here, have at it.
Right.
And it felt just like season 0 for the first time. But then as you progress through it, though, you get comfortable, you start finding the ins and outs, and it starts feeling a little more or less chaotic.
Yeah, I can understand that. And I know when I first started, to be honest with you, I don't even remember what season it was in. Um I was more of a tank main, right? But I feel myself shifting from a tank to a more DPS focused role. Because I feel like that's where my bread and butter is, right? Like I feel like most at home with doing that, especially if I have really good healers behind me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I could say that from the perspective of a tank as well. Um, but I feel like overall, from me being a Hulk main, I'm more of now a DPS focus main. So I'll play, Cyclops, Squirrel Girl,
You fucking
Wanda.
orgasm? What the hell was that?
No, it cringed because I had to admit that I played fucking Cyclops.
I mean, I
But
do gotta say, as your duo,
uh-huh.
most of the time, you can definitely tell in your play style that DPS is where you seem the most comfortable. Like your play style seems more relaxed and on point when I see you playing DPS.
Really.
Uh, when I see you play healer, it's constant panic.
Well, yeah, I could say that as well.
And as a tank, you seem always stressed. Like just ugh. So, I mean, as your duo, I mean, seeing you play as a duelist, it's definitely, I think, your strong point and like where you feel the most at home out of the 3 roles.
Yeah,
So I can agree with you on that.
and I don't know why. I like DPS. I like being the one trying to get headshots kind of thing and all that. But guys, let us know in the comments what your main role is.
Like,
Well, Raccoon is just good at all roles. Sadly, I have to be his brother, so I have to admit that. But let's move on to like I feel like because like I started off as a tank main, I kind of evolved into a DPS main now. So like when I first started, again, whatever season I started in, I had the mind focus of the tank, especially a Hulk player. So that's I changed kind of how I thought about Rivals kind of thing.
Well, that's crazy because when I first played Season 0, first character I ever tried was Magneto. Because, dude, I love the X-Men. I mean, that's very well said between the both of us, even on all of our episodes.
Yes.
I was like, dude, I want to play Magneto. I could not figure him out right off the bat. So I went to Groot, got comfortable, and then I found Rocket. I toyed around with him a little bit, and I was a healer main for like the longest time. I just played nothing but Rocket. And then I started figuring out the tanks, and then I drew right back into being a tank main. I mean, yeah, I'll always play a Rocket, but if in the end I will always be a tank if I can.
Right.
And I've been like that in every game like this, like hero shooters. I've always gone for tanks because it's just, I like being that. I'm holding the line. I will make space, try to protect. I just always like playing like that.
Right.
I'm always head first in. Just so it's pretty cool that we're kind of opposite. You started out more as like a tank. I started out as a healer, and we kind of just like changed.
Yes, gravitated towards our natural progression, I guess, where we feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But speaking about evolving, let's talk about how Jubilee and the Hood and how their kits come into about to evolve the gameplay around them. So in my opinion, I really do like Jubilee's kit. She brings something fresh to the gameplay, in my opinion, of course. Especially, you know, having her bubbles weaken enemies and and buff healing towards her teammates. I really enjoy playing around that mechanic. Like when you have to ignite, knowing when you have to ignite, when you have to shoot your teammates with your, you know, your blasts. And I do love the tracking of the ball to the closest either teammate or enemy. So I definitely love that dynamic. In my opinion, she feels unique because pretty much any healer in the roster doesn't have like an ability to make a bubble that tracks the character, like in anything, right? When you talk about White Fox, you're talking about Cloak and Dagger, like it's stationary. Hers moves, right? So you could either throw it like in front of the tanks so they get healing, and or if it, you know, gravitates towards the enemies, you could blind them and, you know, make the tank's job easier, kind of thing. So I really do love that dynamic.
My only complaint about Jubilee is her survivability. Like she has no piece in her kit to help her escape or really get away. Like
I agree with that.
Like Rocket has his jetpack and he can wall climb.
Right.
Cloak and Dagger can cloak and phase out.
Right. If you're fast enough. But yes.
Right. Loki can make a clone, teleport,
and go invisible.
Jeff, he can climb walls and traversal very fast in the ground. Just Adam can now fly.
Right.
And even if he does die the first time, you know, he can cocoon himself and come back. So I mean, like, I love Jubilee's kit as well. My only complaint is she has no escapes in her kit.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, she has her power jump, I guess, but
even, I mean, even that I feel like is that I was just about to say that even that like doesn't feel
Like
as
when I
well.
play her,
Hmm.
because like I've got a handful of lords in every class, so that way I can feel comfortable and kind of have like a decent understanding. And to me, when I play Jubilee, everything feels good until I get confronted by a dive like
Right.
Daredevil, Spider-Man. I can't do nothing. I feel like I cannot do anything. Now, if I'm playing Rocket, I can jetpack past him real quick, get some good headshots, vice versa, heal myself. But with Jubilee, I just don't feel it.
Yeah, and I agree with you that she does need better survivability, or not better survivability, better movement to get away. I could see her doing kind of like a Cyclops blast, like where he throws himself backwards kind of thing. If she like threw her fireworks in the ground and shot herself backwards kind of thing, I could see that being viable for her
Well, I
kit.
mean,
But
that'd be helpful too,
yeah,
because like that gives you a brief chunk of time to where you can have a teammate fall back to help you, or you can lose them,
right,
or get away and try to make your way back to your team. It gives you that chance.
right. So I definitely agree with you on that point. As for the hood, from what I've seen, I do like his movement. I'm not entirely crazy about his alt. I have to kind of play around his alt more. Um, for me personally, uh, I've seen I do love his cloak ability. I do love his teleport ability with Wanda's team up. I could see that being a very good um bit of movement back and forth. Um, but I'm not crazy about his ult at the moment. So
Yes, that's where you and I are different, right there.
I know.
Because
Go ahead.
because I mean to be fair, like we were saying, I play more tank, so
Mm,
to me this feels like what I've been wanting. We've got good mobility for a tank. We've got teleportation options. We've got cloak walls to where we can nullify damage and slow healing. Uh, we've got his ult, which to me is a hell of a good offensive and defensive ult in my opinion, because you go from, I think when we were playing around with it yesterday, it was 600 to 1200 health
yeah.
when you go into your ult. Mind you, you can be stationary in the sky even
Yeah.
or on the ground. So to me, it feels like a good one, and it's a good ult to weaken enemies for your other teams easy to pick off to get a team wipe. Or for instance, if you have like a Magneto who bubbles himself, or a Groot with his Iron Wall, and your team just cannot do enough to him in that time period for the rest of the team shows up, you can use his ult to really punch through those defenses to make that opening so that way they can work more efficient.
Right.
That's how I look at it. That's why I think his whole kit to me is just it's really good. Um, sure, I'm not the greatest with it right now, but granted, he did just come out and I haven't played
Yeah.
around with it too much. But
Yeah.
from what I've experienced with it, I think it's a very well-rounded and nice kit to use as an offensive or defensive strategy.
Like, to me, I prefer his alt to be a little bit more mobile, right? Like even if it was a slow pace, I prefer it a little bit more. Um, but again, we're able to differ on opinions, of course, guys. Um, but characters are one thing. How they look is another. When it comes to cosmetics, what do you think about the new skins?
Mm. You know, I think there's only been one skin released so far that I just looked at and went, I wasn't a big fan of it. And that was Hawkeye's streetwear skin.
Got you.
I wasn't, but the Egypt skins though, like if we're going like categorizing of like the
Right.
theme, the Egypt skins, dude, all of them, 100 out of 10. Every single one of them has like such a fine detail in some aspect to Egypt lore or
Mm-hmm.
to tie to other characters in the story that it's really good. Like I really like how they designed and portrayed them. To me, it's all really good. I've been very well impressed with the Egypt theme of a lot of these skins.
I enjoy. I really love the look of Punishers, especially.
Yeah, the Anubis skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too. If I'm gonna be honest, this may be a hot take. I'm not too crazy about the new skin that came out for Hood.
Oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either.
I'm not a huge fan of the Iron Fist skin, right? The new one that just released.
That Moon Knight skin though.
The Moon Knight skin looks really good. I will say that for
Dude, that
sure.
fucker slaps.
Hey Pixie, welcome in.
Welcome in there, Pixie.
But yeah, like overall I think the skins are awesome, right? Overall.
Oh yeah, overall, I agree.
There are very few, like I mentioned before, that I don't like, but when it comes to like the overall roster, I do like each of their skins. You know, of course, not being salacious or anything like that.
Right.
But like some of the skins are really good, and they pull from lore that, you know, about that character, right? Like even though they kind of like, especially the rogue one, for example, for the Savage Lands, even though they kind of made it like a little salacious, at least that was partially her lore, right? The way she looked.
Yeah, if you look at the comics, I mean,
exactly,
it's the same thing.
right? But a lot of the skins come from comics or what if episodes or like that, and I absolutely love the fact that that Marvel does that.
Yeah, I definitely like their reference skins, like where it's not just like designed specifically for the game, but they take it from other aspects like comics or TV shows or movies. Like we've been getting a lot of MCU skins, and I don't think there's a single MCU skin that I have not looked at and went, "Holy shit, that is a good damn skin!"
Right, like with the Ultron's.
Oh yeah, especially the
Doomsday.
Ultron one.
Yep.
Oh man, dude. Like I'm not a big Ultron player. Like I've got a little bit of time on him, but to me his flying just feels too slow. That's why I don't play as him too much.
Same.
But I love he has some good skins though. Don't get me wrong. He has some good skins. But the MCU skin was just spot on. Like I loved it. The Wanda skin that came with it too.
Yeah.
Freaking beautiful. And the fact that they gave us the MCU Ultron skin for free was just a big bonus.
Yeah. Even if I'm not playing Ultron, I'm still gonna get that skin. And I did get it.
Right. Well, yeah, because you and I grinded the shit out of that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Which reminds me, you and I have to both go for those titles again with the other characters. But
oh, right. Yeah.
One of the things I do like about what Marvel Rivals does is they will release certain skins in different events things, right? Like for example, the Age of Ultron Doomsday skin, right? When you have that event, they also do balloon pop events, which comes to my next point. What do you feel about the balloon pop events?
So I don't know. Like to me, it's a love-hate
Hmm.
because, and I know we've kind of discussed this before. You know, it sits and tells you like, oh, this person got it first try, and you're
Yeah.
like popping every balloon except for one, and you're like, dude, I've wasted so much of my currency on this when I could have bought another skin that I really wanted, or
Yep. You're
and it's
not
like,
fucking lying. Yep.
um, I mean, to me, I got lucky though with the like what was it, the white fox one I did.
Mm-hmm.
I got on like the second pop. Emma Frost I got on the first. But Devil Dino, for example, it took me 4 to get the Devil Dino one. And I was like, God damn it, dude.
I have the worst luck when it comes to those balloon pop things, man. So like for the White Fox and Loki, like Lady Loki, I still have one balloon to pop, and it's for the skin. I've unlocked everything else, right? Because I'm just that unlucky. For Devil Dinosaur, I think I have like 3 balloons or 4 balloons to pop, and I still haven't done it yet, right? And I do want that skin. I want that skin. I want the Lady Loki skin as well, but just I have the worst fucking luck, man.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. I mean, I feel you because it's like, and every time I look at them, I'm always so hesitant to even start it because I'm like,
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
want to waste a bunch of my credits because I know there's skins coming up. Like, for instance, the Moon Knight skin came out.
Yep.
I used my credits for. I got something else with my credits. I can't remember what it was now. And then the Moon Knight skin dropped. And I was like, God damn it!
Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Yep.
Like, I love Moon Knight. Like, I have comics. I'm a big fan of Moon Knight, and that skin was just so good.
I agree. I agree too. I do like the mirror that they did with the Jeff and Dino skins. Right? So
Yep,
like
me
they
too.
both have a mirror of each other basically.
And they have a team up.
Well, that's even better, you know. But cosmetic aside, how does the roster itself feel like to you? Right? Like, does it feel solid? Does it feel weak? Do you feel like more roles get a better, you know, a better touch or feel for them?
Well, the hill I will always die on because, like, I've heard so many people talk so badly about it.
Mm-hmm.
I will always give Rivals props because they try to give the lesser known heroes and villains
Yeah.
spotlight. Their goal was always to have an important, like, big name hero or villain and a lesser known. So as the roster evolves, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
it's constantly solid to me. Like for instance, Jubilee in the Hood.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who didn't know who Jubilee was, but I know a lot of people who didn't know who the Hood was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Me being
honestly,
one of them.
I didn't really know a whole lot about the Hood, but when they release these characters, it makes you go, man, I want to know more because for them to be picked, it's like, is there something interesting? And there usually is, like Elsa Bloodstone.
Right.
Deadpool and Elsa Bloodstone came out. So many people know Deadpool. I mean,
Right.
fuck, everybody knows Deadpool.
Well, now because of the movies, yeah.
Well, and Elsa Bloodstone, you know, I've literally had so many other streamers and stuff go, who the hell is Elsa Bloodstone? I'm like, dude, I know Elsa Bloodstone since I was a kid. Like, I loved Elsa Bloodstone as a character. So I think their roster's always solid. I think it's just people get too caught up in wanting all these big named characters
Yeah.
that they don't appreciate the spotlight that these lesser known heroes and villains are getting.
I agree. Sorry, go ahead. You weren't done.
So that's just a hill I'll always die on. I've gotten in arguments with people over this countless times. Because I think every character in Marvel, I think at some point deserves more respect and spotlight because they have been the staple to so many youth and adults that have motivated, inspired, and even like caused creativity because of it. So, and I think ultimately every character at some point needs to be given that same attention.
I agree. I think that I do like you said, Marvel does like to shine a light on lesser known characters. I too didn't know much about the Hood. But also that forced me to kind of look him up. Like, oh, what's his story about, kind of thing. And I could understand how Marvel would take lesser known characters like that, and if, for example, if I was just coming into Marvel right now and I saw the Hood, I'm like, well, who's this guy? It might make me more inclined to play him if I know his backstory and if I know a little bit more of him, right? And I know they do have that little writing, like right up when you click on them, that tells you a little bit about them. But like, you could go into it and talk about it and look for like comics of the Hood to really know his character. So, that might actually make you want to play him more, which I find is great. So
another thing I got to give Rivals props for. I love how for the skins, if it's from a comic or anything like that, it'll literally say when you click on the skin for like the story of it,
right.
It'll literally tell you its first appearance.
Yep. I love that as well.
So you can look up the comic as well and you can like compare it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I absolutely love that they do that.
Agreed. And I love when like okay. I love it when people take from source material and put it into like different mediums, right? For like, for example, comics to games or comics to movies. If you bring in for example, and I'm gonna stand on a little bit of a soapbox here. If you have such a great medium like comics and you're going to transfer that into a movie, then you should probably stick to that. Don't go too far out of the comic book, because then you might piss off diehard fans, but you also might piss off new fans, right?
Well, yeah, because to me it feels disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Especially when they say something like, "This is based off of this comic." Okay,
Yeah.
you got people like you and I where we pay attention to the details. If I see you tell me that this is based off of this comic, like for instance, I'm just going to use this randomly, Wolverine.
Go on.
If I see them say like this is based off of this comic of Wolverine, and I watch it and it's nothing like what the comic said, then I'm going to be utmost furious.
Yeah. Agreed.
So I and I get it, people are like, "Well, I want to add a different flair to it." Cool. Then don't use a specific source material.
Yeah,
say this is your take on Wolverine, or this is your take on Spider-Man, or Don't sit there and tell me this is from, like, let's say they did a Superior Spider-Man movie
Right.
where Doc Ock is Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me you're doing that and then change up and like, oh yeah, this Spider-Man's a girl. What in the fuck are you doing?
I agree, and I'm not too crazy when they gender swap or change something so drastic about a character, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not either.
for example, like if if you have such beautiful and such strong source material, why not use it? Right?
Yeah, and it's not that hard. Like, I hate to say it like that. It's not that hard. Most of the time, it's they want to hit a specific agenda with it, or they're scared that they're going to get backlash because they didn't include something else. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I think it's you need to be more loyal to your fans of the material. You will make way more money in the long run. I promise you.
And if you felt like for example some different you know aspect needed to be represented, use a character from that aspect. Right? Like, if I might get a little bit of hate here, but if you need a gay character, use a canonically gay character.
Right. Like Morph.
Hell, Deadpool, he's bi. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like, if you,
Which they do good showcasing that in the movies, though.
which I agree as well, right? But like, if don't try to shoehorn something that isn't necessarily supposed to be there. It'll feel off to the purists. It'll feel weird. May feel a little weird to the new people. Because then if they see it and be like, I really like this character, they're gonna look up the original.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, this is sexist," and it's like, no, it's ass backwards.
Yeah. But let's get back on track, shall we? So let's talk about personal playstyle, right? You I have definitely evolved into much more of a tank main, myself being a DPS main now. My go-to healer, if I have to play off my main strengths, is Cloak and Dagger or Jubilee. My go-to DPS now is begrudgingly at times Cyclops.
Yeah, but you're still a good Wanda, though.
And yes, I feel a little bit dirty about saying I'm a good Cyclops. But I do like Wanda, I do like Punisher, I do like Squirrel Girl to Raccoon's chagrin. But yes. Who do you usually play?
Well, as I've said, I play a lot of tank. So my go-tos as of right this instant is number one is Devil Dino.
I agree. You are a very good Dino.
And I've got multiple play styles with Dino. Like I do a good protective shielding Dino, and I do a really good diving Dino. Magneto is my other one that I've been doing quite a bit of. DPS, I've kind of been quite a large variety, honestly, because like I've been playing Bucky, Wanda, Namor.
Right.
That's been about it for DPS, and for healers, I've been doing my usual Rocket, Gambit, and Atom. So I mean, I've kind of stayed the same throughout every season. Except for obviously Dino because he was just added last season. But I've kind of stayed the same because I have like that mentality of I don't want to change with the times. I want to change the times with me.
I'm gonna force this round hole into a
Yeah,
square
like
peg kind of thing.
kind of like evolution's like, come on now, you got to change up. And I'm like, no, fuck your evolution. You're gonna change to me.
Nice.
When history changes, I still want to be standing as me. I don't want to feel like I have to migrate. Like, I don't know how many times I've had people go, you need to switch off a dino. We're just not getting there. And I go, no, they're going to switch. And most times I will make most enemy tanks switch because I just get into that mode and it's just, nah. Like that dino the other day.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Oh, hell. But how we play is only one part of the equation. As you and I both can attest, it's a team game, and some team members don't play as strongly as other.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it matters what game you play. You're always going to have those poor sports or adult children, as I like to call them. Like for example, the other day, I got the hood before that other guy, and he just left.
Yeah. Yeah.
He literally went, "Okay, I can't have him. Then I'm leaving," and he did.
Yeah, and again, to me, that's one of the reasons why I don't try to rush to get new characters, because I have a feeling like I'm gonna be one of like 7 people gonna try and get them. So I don't even bother. I'll be like, okay, you want to be the new character? I'll play something I'm familiar with. So
Right.
when I play comp, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, I cut you off. That was my bad.
So I like when I play comp matches, I feel like healers aren't as strong. That's in my opinion, right? Like it may be just my low ranking, but I struggle to get heals. One of the reasons why I like Jubilee so much is that she could buff the healing of that the team receives, or that her little kinetic balls, travel around with the team. You know what I mean? They're not stagnant. Go ahead.
I want to ask you a question, like not to put you on the spotlight or anything.
Mhm.
So when did you get to the point where you felt like you needed to learn multiple people, if not at least one in each class,
Mhm.
because you were not feeling like it was good enough from others?
I like, even when I started back at as a tank main, um I I made myself a promise that I was going to get either good with Wolverine or Hulk, right? So I tried Wolverine, completely sucked at him. Then I switched to Hulk, got a lot better with Hulk, so I became a Hulk main. But then after that, um you know, I felt like, okay, I'm a okay tank. Let me try DPS. So I tried other classes, and I was also kind of like that even when I started playing Dota back in the day. Like if we needed a jungler, right? Or a main carry, um I was more willing to switch to those roles, because I was like, okay, I prefer to be a main carry, but if let's say that role was picked already, I'll switch to support, right, to see if I can help, or a main DPS, right, or a secondary DPS. So I've always kind of been of that mindset that I should learn more roles than just what I prefer,
Right.
because if that role is taken, or in this case, if two roles are taken, I don't want to just be like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna suck up like as a DPS or a tank, right, and be a third, right, because of my preference. I rather help the team out, kind of thing.
Right. Because in season 0, once I figured out Rocket was my go-to, I didn't want to play anything but Rocket. Like, I did
Right.
not care. It was just Rocket. But then, of course, the bigger streamers started bad-mouthing Rocket at the time. And so if you picked Rocket, you were a thrower.
Right.
And your team would do nothing to help you, period, if you played Rocket. And I ran into a lot of people that would either pick the character that you were wanting, or somebody wasn't comfortable in another role, so they were trying to get you to switch so that way they could have that role. So I told myself I want to learn 2 characters in every class, so I don't run into that situation of, oh shit, somebody picked my character, I'm fucked, and
Right.
now I'm throwing all the time. Which has come to a benefit because now I have become known as a flex player, I guess as they call them,
Mm-hmm.
because I can play every role pretty efficiently.
Yeah, you honestly really are good at that.
And I like having that because, like I said, like if for instance, if I'm playing with you
Mm-hmm.
and the one healer that you really like to play is picked, and you don't feel confident in that time, like, hey, I really want to be a tank, but because this healer's picked, I can switch to a healer and be like, yeah, you be our tank, I got you covered, I'll play other healer. Or vice versa, or whatever. I mean, I've had to do that quite often, so, which is fine. It's what the point of the game is. You want to make sure everybody on your team is on their strong point, so
Right.
that way you can progress and succeed.
Yeah. Um. How do you feel about the new map? You and I kind of talked about it a little bit when we were kind of walking around Thebes. Um, looking at all the Easter eggs, and how do you feel about that?
Um, so, I mean, this one and the last map, or just this one?
No, you could speak about the last map as well, or the other one.
Um, so the Manhattan one, or no, or is it Nueva York? I can't remember now what the hell it was called.
Lower
That was
Manhattan, I believe.
Kingpin.
Yes.
That map, loved it.
Same.
So freaking full of Easter eggs and little side calls to other characters that we could possibly be getting. Um, it was, it literally felt like you were fighting like in the city, and the Easter eggs were great. Um, it was just a very appealing map. Now Thebes, there are some good Easter eggs. But to me, it's more visually appealing to me than it is Easter egg wise.
Mm.
Still a good map. I still like it. The story that comes with it and everything is really nice. But I think the other one takes the cake a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, and in my opinion, just based on comparison of the two maps, Lower Manhattan and Thebes. Lower Manhattan has a lot more Easter eggs, like little moments where you're like, "Oh shit, I remember that from so and so." Um, with Thebes, there are a few spots on the map where I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, all right, I see what you're doing there. All right, cool." Um, but as a whole, there's much more Easter eggs on Lower Manhattan than Thebes. I do love the color of Thebes though, right?
Oh yeah, agreed.
Like
It's more vibrant.
especially in Apocalypse Antechamber.
Yep.
I love the blue. I love the bright like neon of like feeling of it. I love like when you're on the loading screen, you see the red eyes of Apocalypse looking at you through the Sphinx, right? I
Yep.
love that shit, man. Um, but yeah, I will agree with you on that, Rookin, that Lower Manhattan has a uh much more reason to just jump into a custom match just to look around, right?
Oh,
Just to walk
absolutely.
around and be on the streets kind of thing.
Now, granted, both maps are very well designed. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, especially for what they're being utilized for. Um, but yeah, Lower Manhattan definitely takes the cake for me lore wise, but I would give Thebes the aesthetics
Mm-hmm.
side of
Yeah.
it.
Um, that brings us to kind of pacing. So, like, how do you feel the pacing of the matches are, right? Especially
Much more
on
faster.
the well, thank you for your answer. Well, I was gonna say especially on the new maps, but um, yes, I would tend to agree that the fights are much faster. But please elaborate on your answer.
Um, uh, it just feels like so before this season, I mean, the matches felt like a good back and forth. I feel like the matches felt like they took forever because like it was so leveled.
Mm-hmm.
But now the matches feel like, I mean, they go by fast. Like you're looking at the time and you're like, oh yeah, got plenty of time to stop them. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's like, boom, they're at the checkpoint and you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, where did the 5 minutes go or whatever?
Yeah. Like it just feels way more fast paced. I mean, even though it's not, it's still the same, but it just feels like everything's happening so fast.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Um, I think the game's pace is on par with other hero shooters. For example, compared to Apex or Overwatch, more akin to
More
that.
closely in tied.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it is much faster. Well, I used to play Apex, and um, sometimes you go a full match without seeing hardly anybody until you got down to like the last bit. Same with Fortnite. Um, but in this, you don't have that. You don't have that luxury. It's more akin to like Overwatch, and I feel, especially with the new maps, there are ways you can push or provide cover. For example, with Cyclops, I can either sneak behind a team, which I did a couple of times, or and use my ult to use my ult to wall them in. Because if they back up, they're gonna get full damage from my ult or get pushed into my team, right?
Right.
You know, like you could do that, or I could use my ult around a corner. I could run out, ult, step back, and keep my cover, you know. So I actually prefer this than other hero shooters because of that. Oh. Now let's kind of go into one of my favorite kind of aspects of this podcast. Future hopes of characters to come.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna let you say your. I asked for 3. I don't know if you got 3, but I'll let you say yours first.
Um, one of them might be a duplicate of what I've said in the past. I can't quite remember who I've all said other than Carnage and Juggernaut, but I I really, really want to see. They're all going to be Spider-Man villains, but I want to
I
see
know.
Kraven.
Yep, I knew that was good. I knew that. As soon as you
I
said
wanna
Spider-Man
see-
villains, I was like, "Yep, Craven."
I want to see Kraven. I want to see Rhino,
Ooh,
and I
Rhino would
want
be
to see
nice.
Scorpion.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
I want the Scorpion like from Insomniac Spider-Man with like the semi mechanical suit.
Okay, so like you want the um Paul Giamatti Rhino?
What?
You want the Paul Giamatti Rhino, the one that has like the mech suit?
No, Scorpion. I want the Scorpion like that.
Oh, well, he hasn't been in a movie yet. Well, I think he's in
No,
actually Brand New Day.
I said Insomniac's Spider-Man.
Oh,
That's the game.
which one is that? Which is that Spider-Man 2?
He, I think he's in the first Spider-Man as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember that one. Oh,
Because in Spider-Man 2, he gets killed by Kraven.
well, spoilers.
Oh, my bad. I mean, the game's been out long enough.
Hey,
Sorry if
I
you
still
haven't
haven't
known that at
played
this point.
Spider-Man 2, but don't worry, I'll
I
forget
haven't
it.
played any of them. I've just watched playthroughs. So,
I
but
actually,
no, but
go on.
Rhino, I don't want the mechanical suit Rhino. I hate that Rhino. I want the comic accurate Rhino where like he has the Rhino skin.
Right,
Like
right,
he looks like a walking Rhino almost.
right.
Like I want that Rhino.
Okay.
And Craven, there's no bad iteration of Craven. I'm sorry, there's not. I love Craven the Hunter.
Okay, so let's go on to what their roles would be.
Craven would be as much as I hate to say it, I think he'd be a duelist.
I could see
He's
that.
got like that. He's got that nice melee type of attacks with
Mhm.
spears and stuff like that as well, like Black Panther. And I could see him having a trapping aspect,
Right.
and I could see his ult being something where like it like fuels him with bloodlust, so like it boosts his health, attack, and defense for a short period instead of like just doing straight damage like a lot of ults do.
Mm-hmm.
I could seeing it being more of like a tanky type of ult. Rhino tank, obviously. Um,
Right.
I would want him to have a charge like the things where like he can't be stopped kind of thing.
Mm.
And if you run into somebody, I want it to fling them into a wall or something. Or if you pin somebody into a wall with it, I want it to be like Reinhardt from Overwatch and like it stuns them.
Okay. Okay, kind of like a thing, like when you get hit with the thing's ult thing.
Well, kind of, yeah, like a stun.
Right.
And obviously he'd be a melee tank, like the thing. But I want his ult. I don't know why, but I want him to like stomp on the ground and like pull up a piece of the ground and just freaking hurl that at you.
That'd be interesting. Kind of like but they'd have to give it to Hulk as well because Hulk.
Well, I wouldn't have to, but
I want it, damn it.
well, too bad. And Scorpion, I could see being I could see Scorpion being either a tank or a DPS, depending on how they want to use his kit. Because with the mechanical suit, he has like that enhanced strength,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also got that really good mobility though of like a DPS. To his fast tail attacks, his stinging, the acid effect that he has. I mean, I think he'd be more of probably a duelist, and I know we have a lot of duelists already, but there's so many good characters that, as much as I don't want to admit it, would be good duelists.
Yeah, I could see that. So, okay, I had to, my first pick would be Sabretooth.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I honestly would love Sabretooth as a kind of a melee tank. And I also would love
Yep.
to see his kind of interaction with Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
I'd say his ult. Well, I'd say either a Sabretooth as probably a tank, but or you could nerf his kind of his quote unquote healing factor as a DPS kind of thing. But I would say his ult would be like a rage mode where he like lunges forward and does damage in a cone kind of thing.
Right.
Kind of similar to what the Thing's ult is, but it would be more focused on him, right? He would run and lunge forward.
Right.
More akin to, like, let's say Black Panther's ult, but it would be, instead of him doing this the Soul of Bass or whatever, it'd be Sabretooth.
Yeah, I could see him being a good Vanguard.
Yeah,
I could see it.
my second pick, I will freely admit, I am trying desperately not to go with the characters I've said already. So I went a little bit further outside my knowledge base. So like from different characters. So I picked Havoc for my second. Okay.
Ooh.
Cyclops' brother, right?
Yep.
So I picked him and I could see him kind of playing like a Moon Knight-esque character, right? Like how he'd throw his quote unquote blasts, right? But like out like his, if you guys have seen like X-Men First Class, how he kind of like swirls around at first, right? I could see that kind of like him using that kind of movement to kind of throw his blast kind of thing.
Right.
I could see his ult being like a Destructo disc from Krillin in DBZ. Right? So like it's just massive disc of energy that he throws. So that'd be like a good DPS character. Now, my third and final pick is pretty far out there. Okay.
Okay.
I pick Spiral from Mojo World. Now, if you don't know who Mojo is or Spiral in particular, she's the 6-arm woman.
Oh, yep.
That can wield swords or guns or what have you. And I could see her being a nice, quick burst melee teleporter similar to magic. I say teleporter because she in the cartoon can actually teleport people using technology. So she'd be like in the lore, she can be kind of like a forge slash cable kind of teleporter, right? If she could, to use that kind of technology to teleport
Right.
herself, whatever, right? And she'd be like a melee character. Her ult would be a damage boost where she rushes in and goes into like a kind of like a melee kind of a who else would be good, like kind of like a daredevil, right?
Oh, yeah.
A damage boost going into combat, maybe have swords swinging around her kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. But guys, I think that would wrap up our breakdown of Marvel Rivals season 7 or 9.5.
9.5.
I keep getting the numbers mixed up. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay, he's old.
I am old. And we've covered the evolution, the skins, the gameplay, the bubble pop balloon vent, and my horrible luck. It's all been great fun. Now, as always, I will throw it to my my co-host to plug himself, and then I shall finish up and give you mine.
I am Just a Raccoon. You can find me on YouTube as the same name, or on Twitch at Jester_Raccoon. I do a variety of games, but I will be on a extended period of break in a few weeks due to a move. But we play things from Rivals eventually again to Fortnite to Jurassic World and Pal World. It's a nice little community over there. You will feel like you belong, and you'll definitely feel like a family dynamic because everybody is kind to each other there.
I would definitely agree with that. And guys, as always, please take care of yourselves. And if you do agree or don't agree with our hot takes, please put them in the comments. We do read them. But Raccoon, would you like to sign off with your ending mantra?
Over on our channel, I like to say love one another, be kind, laugh always. And to remember that if it was always sunny, a flower would never bloom to its full potential. So sometimes our cloudy and rainy days are essential for us to bloom to our full potential and become the best versions of ourselves.
Yes, agreed. And like I say on my channel, please keep in mind your mental health. If you can, talk to a friend or a family member. If you don't have anybody in your life like that, please reach out to a medical professional. No matter what you're going through, you're not alone. As a friend of mine would say, pour into yourselves so you can take care of people that rely on you. And guys, we will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.
Bye.